Why is Vladimir Putin doing this? What do you? You have to believe that there are some Russian scientists over there kind of whispering to themselves, you know, what is he doing? Why is he doing this, do you think?
For political reasons. I mean, all they've done is a small phase 1 trial in 38 people, which showed that the vaccine induced an immune response. There's nothing novel about the vaccine. It's very similar to Johnson & Johnson's vaccine, AstraZeneca's vaccine, one of the Chinese group's vaccines. There's nothing novel about it. It's been in only 38 people, so you can say that at least 38 among 38 people, no one died, and that it induced an immune response, which may or may not be protective. The notion that it would, in any sense, be approved for use and given to the general population with such a paucity of data is appalling. And I'm sure it's appalling to the scientists in Russia.
Does this put pressure on the companies that are doing, you know, the due diligence right now? They're going through the various phases. They're doing what they normally do. When you have another country saying, oh, we're ready to go, we're going to start production next month, does that put pressure on everybody else?
It should put no pressure on anybody else. I mean, at least in this country so far, we're doing it the right way, which is to say we're going to do a phase 3 trial of tens of thousands of people to make sure that these vaccines are safe and effective before we would ever expose the American population to them. And the same thing should be done in Russia. And that it's not being done is a disservice to the Russian population.
What do you think is going to happen in Russia? What's your fear of what could happen?
My fear is that they would roll out the vaccine, not knowing whether it was safe, not knowing whether it was effective, and that would put pressure on other countries, including ours, to roll out a vaccine prematurely. We can't be pressured like that. It's not fair. You want to, you know, vaccines, the vaccine confidence, I think, is fragile in the United States and in other countries. And to roll out a vaccine without knowing how safe it is or whether it's effective would be a major mistake, and I think they could do a lot of harm.
In other words, it might make people here, for example, in the United States, skittish about getting a vaccine if something, God forbid, happens in Russia, where the people that are getting the vaccine over there that has been truly untested to the fullest extent, you know, if there was a problem medically over there, then we might be a little squeamish about taking it over here, yes?
I'm sure there are people in Russia who are squeamish about this.
Yes, but you know how that works. I mean, they say they're going to use 300,000 volunteers, quote unquote volunteers, right?
Right. It's really it's tragic. I mean, it's what happens when science gets politicized. And I hope that we're smart enough to realize that that's all this is a political stunt, and to keep doing what we're doing, which is to try and make these vaccines the right way.
Realistically, and Dr. Fauci has to answer this question almost daily, what is your view? When do you think we will have the first viable vaccine here in the United States?
I think we could have vaccines by early next year. I mean, if you think that the trials that are currently ongoing involve 30,000 people for a 2-dose vaccine, I just can't imagine how we could recruit enough people and have enough time then to get an adequate number of people who are ill in the placebo group so you can actually make a comment about efficacy before early next year. I think that would be optimistic, Frank.